Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. As usual, we are here together. Stay tuned because it's Friday, it's the final weekend of the summer transfer window, and then we have Monday and Tuesday, deadline day, to keep you updated on absolutely everything. So stay tuned. It's going to be crazy 5 days. Many things to do for many clubs, so we have to be here every single day, every single minute to keep you updated on absolutely everything. I remind you also the video from the night to have all the information on Enzo Fernandez, on Rafa Leão, on Dibu Martinez, on Alex Scott, on Alexis McAllister, many things to mention. So for sure, there is going to be movement on several topics, but today in this video we have to discuss about more because there are things moving and happening. Let me start from London. We have to talk about Arsenal because the update of the morning I can give you is that Gabriel Martinelli's move to Al Hilal is now at the very final stages. My understanding is that overnight Gabriel Martinelli gave his green light to Al Hilal. So the agreement between Gabriel Martinelli and Al Hilal is now happening. Martinelli, after speaking to his agents, Rock Nation, after speaking to his family and those close to him, Martinelli said, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sign for Al Hilal. Now they are fixing the details of the contract, so they are exchanging all the documents with the lawyers on player side to check on the contract terms, the contract details, and all the rest. So there are details to sort, but the green light from Gabriel Martinelli to Saudi Arabia, to Saudi Pro League, to Al Hilal has arrived. And so Martinelli is ready to go. Now Arsenal and Al Hilal are discussing on the transfer fee. Al Hilal are starting at 55 million pounds package. Arsenal wants 60, so it's a small difference. There is an expectation this deal can be completed very soon. And so after Crescencio Somerville signed a few weeks ago, after Ollie Watkins, here we go, probably 48 hours ago, I don't remember, now they are ready from Al Hilal to close also Gabriel Martinelli. And that's a massive move because obviously Martinelli would be Premier League champion, Champions League finalist, an important addition for Al Hilal and for their coach Inzaghi. Meanwhile, another Brazilian player could leave London and Arsenal. Keep an eye on Gabriel Jesus, because there are still movement. Gabriel, Mikel Arteta was very honest in the last 24 hours by saying there are decisions to make. So obviously Gabriel Jesus is not training on regular basis with the first team at Arsenal because they are in surplus up front. And so at the moment, Gabriel Jesus has serious chances to go and leave Arsenal before the end of the summer transfer window. Well, let's see what's going to happen because obviously he's out of contract in summer 2027. So we have to see what he decides to do. We have to respect the player's will. But at the moment, Arsenal are pushing for him to find a solution. Napoli is a possibility, yes, but in terms of regulations in Italy, to sign a player like Gabriel Jesus, they need some exits at Napoli, so not that easy. There are more clubs also calling his agents, so the Gabriel Jesus case could be definitely one to watch. And then, guys, I know I've been on this one for a few days, and many of you don't believe it, but I keep telling you, Arsenal are there for Julián Alvarez. Arsenal are there, Arsenal are waiting, Arsenal have their own strategy. I think it's a real strategy. It's not that Arsenal are just there looking at the situation. Arsenal in background, because obviously Arsenal need to respect the player, his family, his agents, the player decides. So Arsenal can only wait. But at the same time, while they are waiting and while they are in the background, Arsenal are active in the conversations. Because Arsenal confirmed, according to my information, to Atletico Madrid that they would be ready to make business. They would be ready to try and reach an agreement. And financially, selling also Gabriel Martinelli, we will see the final fee, if it's 50, 55, 60, but we are between 50 and 60 million pounds. This extra money, after all the money generated by Arsenal in the recent months, gives Arsenal the space to make business for Julián Alvarez. So Arsenal will be ready to sit at the table with Atletico Madrid and to reach an agreement. Now they are waiting on Julián, and any moment, when it's just 4 or 5 days to go, any moment could be the moment. Because imagine, I know football sometimes and the market sometimes feels like a completely different world, but it's real life. It's real people in real life. So if any moment Julián Alvarez or his agent call Arsenal and tell them, okay, we want to come because there is no other way, well, Arsenal will be ready. So get ready for this scenario because it's not impossible. Arsenal are there for Julián and we have to follow the situation. But this depends on the player. Till today, till tonight, till the recent hours, Julián always said, only Barcelona. I want Barcelona. My dream is Barcelona. But Arsenal keep waiting and remain on their position. So let's see what's going to happen there. Because Atletico Madrid CEO, even after the Champions League draw, went in public and said, on the Julián Álvarez situation, something very powerful. He said, until and as long as I will be here as Atletico Madrid CEO, forget about Julián Álvarez to Barcelona. So not just for this transfer window, he said, as long as I will be the CEO, Gilmarín said. So it means not just this transfer window, but also for the future. The message is very strong. So the message then, when it's about talking about other clubs, he said, if he doesn't want to stay in Madrid, no to Barcelona, but we are open to finding a solution. Guys, the message from Atletico Madrid is very clear. If Julián wants to go, Arsenal, please go. You are free to go. They would love to keep Julián, obviously. Atletico Madrid would love to continue with Julián, to have a new chance together, to continue together. But if Julián wants to go, and if Julián will ask to go, they know that Arsenal are there. So it's on Julián to decide what he wants to do. Let's see, because this Arsenal scenario should not be underestimated. And then Manchester United, guys. I think it could be busy for Man United in these final 4 or 5 days of the window. Because I can guarantee to you that Manchester United are still looking for a solution at left back. So United are working to add a new left back. I would not be surprised if they end up with a solution for a player who can be almost a guarantee. So maybe not a superstar name like Balde, because they considered Balde. They had a call with Jorge Mendes 1 week ago, but the deal is too expensive. Transfer fee, salary, too expensive. United are not going to do that, at least now. Then if they change, I will let you know. But just as a comparison, you remember when United signed Sergio Reguilón from, I think he was at Tottenham on loan. Something similar. Obviously, I'm not saying Reguilón, but that kind of player, experienced left back, who can provide competition, who can be also an international profile. So Manchester United are exploring this kind of options. So left back is expected to be an area where Man United want to improve before the deadline. I expect them to sign there. And also the striker, if Joshua Zirkzee is leaving, with Fiorentina pushing, Fiorentina sent an official bid, I told you, a story from yesterday morning, offering 5 million euros loan fee plus buy clause. There are more clubs also involved. Let's see if Juventus return to the table, for example, if they can sell Jonathan David, the Canadian striker. So there are more clubs also in other countries. If Zirkzee leaves Manchester United, they will need a new striker. So there could be movement at United for the striker, for sure for the left back, and then the striker, depending on what happens with Joshua Zirkzee. One of the most interesting cases to follow in the next probably 24, maximum I think 48 hours, and it's going to be clear direction, Rafael Leão. Because the Portuguese winger is for sure one of the most interesting cases of top players now available on the market. Of course, the recent seasons at AC Milan were not brilliant, but we cannot forget what Rafael Leão did in the near past. And now for Rafael Leão, the direction of travel is very clear, out of AC Milan project since the beginning of the market. Ruben Amorim said in press conference, sometimes in football there is a moment where you have to go change, and so the message is clear. Now for Rafael Leão there are two ways. One is Galatasaray, agreement done with AC Milan since 2 days ago, 45 million euros plus bonus, and on the other side, Aston Villa, trying to enter the deal and try to make it happen. Aston Villa are pushing, and even tonight, new contacts took place between Aston Villa and AC Milan, directly between the two owners, Jerry Cardinale and the ownership group maintaining Aston Villa and managing Aston Villa. So the conversation is ongoing. Because Aston Villa are considering a loan move with an obligation to buy. Milan want a permanent deal, also for financial reasons, and to be able to get the money as soon as possible. So, conversation ongoing, AC Milan, Aston Villa. Agreement done, AC Milan, Galatasaray. Now it's going to be on the player. Rafael Leão has to decide what he wants to do between Galatasaray and Aston Villa. So this is the point for Rafael Leão, and of course it's going to be a very important moment with Unai Emery involved, because Unai is pushing to get Rafael Leão. Big day in London today, because Chelsea won 2 consecutive wins for Xabi Alonso, the second one in the Cup after winning the opening game in Premier League, and now Xabi Alonso will have a new goalkeeper, because Dibu Martinez arrives in London today to undergo medical test and sign his contract as a new Chelsea player. 2-year deal, 1-year option, everything will be completed today. The two clubs are exchanging documents now after the game they started, and so everything will be signed in the next few hours, and then Dibu will have his medical and sign his contract. 2 years, 2028, £7.5 million, and everything done for Dibu Martinez. On Chelsea and Manchester City, we have to discuss about midfield. and we have to discuss about Enzo Fernandez. Enzo not in the squad for Chelsea against Luton Town. Surprising, because Xabi Alonso 24 hours before said in press conference, Enzo is ready, Enzo is available, so not to see Enzo even on the bench obviously was a kind of big message. But the answer after the game from Xabi Alonso was to clarify, it was my decision shared with the club, Xabi Alonso said. Because obviously Enzo is subject of this big interest from Manchester City. So, as of tonight, the message coming from Chelsea is, we have not received any official bid in paper from Manchester City. Reports from Argentina, reports from England tonight claiming an agreement done between Chelsea and Manchester City. Chelsea officially say, we have not received any official bid. We have not received any official proposal. So, at the moment, that's the status. Then, Manchester City maintain daily, regular conversations with Javier Pastore. Javier Pastore, the former player from Paris Saint-Germain, Palermo, and many others, is the agent of Enzo Fernandez. So Manchester City are working on this deal on daily basis before the famous deadline 2 weeks ago. After the deadline, Manchester City are on it. Now, the official bid will clarify what's going to happen. The value in terms of money is going to be crucial, and then Chelsea position, because Chelsea say we will only sell Enzo if we get the right money, and also if we are able to improve the squad. So let's see what's going to happen there. Many questions tonight on Alexis McAllister as an option for Manchester City. The reality is that some intermediaries offered Manchester City the possibility to consider a move for Alexis McAllister. So was suggested by intermediaries as a potential move to Manchester City, rather than being already an official bid or something like that. So as an alternative, it's something that happens sometimes at top clubs when it's very clear that a top club needs to sign in a position and it's just few days to go, because it's 3, 4, 5 days to the end of the summer transfer window. So obviously offering opportunities, suggesting opportunities. So we have to follow the situation of Enzo Fernandez. This remains the focus. This remains the priority. Enzo, that's important, already said yes to Manchester City. At the beginning of the week, I told you. Enzo wants to go to Manchester City if the deal can be agreed. At the moment, Enzo has always been respectful with Chelsea, but at the same time, his desire would be to go to Manchester City, and he has an agreement on personal terms. So this depends on Chelsea now and on Manchester City. Then, talking about midfielders, some of you asking me, why Chelsea are not going for Alex Scott? Why Manchester City are not going for Alex Scott? Because City need a midfielder, Chelsea would need a midfielder in case Enzo goes to Man City. So the name of Alex Scott is always part of the questions I'm receiving in the last days and hours. The answer is at Bournemouth, because Bournemouth as a club, and when I say club, it's the ownership group, it's the director Thiago Pinto, it's the coach Marco Rose. They are very strong all together on their position, in public and in private. No intention to let Alex Scott go. No intention to let Alex Scott leave. They want Alex Scott to stay. They want Alex Scott to continue, and they plan for Alex Scott to stay at the club. Then they are offering him a new contract, because the reality is that Bournemouth have been trying for 3-4 months to get a new contract done with Alex Scott. At the moment, it's not done yet. We have to see if Alex Scott decides to sign in the next days and then include a release clause in order to pick his favorite club. For example, Semenyo did the same at Bournemouth 1 year ago. Release clause. In January, he had the possibility to go, and he was between Tottenham, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, many clubs wanted Semenyo. With the release clause, you don't need to negotiate on club to club, the money is there, and so it's on the player to decide. So Bournemouth are telling Alex Scott, stay with us this summer, we are ready to include the release clause, and you can go eventually in summer 2027. So this will be the position. Now it's on Alex Scott, sign new contract with the release clause, or stay with the current deal. But for sure, the expectation, if nothing goes wrong, is for Alex Scott to get his move in 2027, probably summer. But let's see, January now is not a topic for us. So that's why things are not happening around Alex Scott. 2 quick things to mention also on other things. Official Oscar Nasei to Real Madrid, centre-back, 21-year-old from Granada, did his medical, passed his medical, 2-year deal plus add-ons, as I told you in the morning, and so Nasei, new Real Madrid player for the Castilla team, but he's going to train with the first team, and also for Arsenal, it's time to say goodbye to a player who's been part of the Arsenal team for some time, and it's Reiss Nelson, because the decision made on both sides, Nelson and Arsenal, is to terminate the contract. Nelson will now make himself available on the market on a free, so free agent, completely available. Let's follow the situation, but for sure, good luck to Reece Nelson, who is now entering the market as a free agent after leaving Arsenal. Final one, Ipswich Town, while I'm recording this video, waiting for a final green light from Tammy Abraham. They hope to sign Tammy Abraham from Aston Villa, straight loan, no buy option. They are offering him the number 9 shirt, and now it's Tammy who has to say, yes, I'm coming, or no, I want to stay at Villa, or I want to go elsewhere. Let's see what happens in the next hours, but could be. And here we go soon. On these guys and much more, I will keep you absolutely updated as always here on the channel as every single day, so I remind you to stay tuned by liking this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and send in your comments on Martinelli, on Gabriel Jesus, on United signings, on Julián, on Zirze. What do you expect from Man United? 2 signings, which one? Let me know in the comments. I will see you soon. Thank you.